Safety check. Systems test. Oil firebox. Blow whistle. Move throttle forward. Safety check. Systems test. Oil firebox. Blow whistle. First Big Boy rolled in 1941, the Big Boy line has attracted thousands of rail fans on its western, midwestern, and slightly eastern tours, but only one has come this far east. As the crew moves through the flat fields of Nebraska, the loud city of Chicago, and Pennsylvania's rolling mountains, you have the opportunity to track it on railfanning cameras, including North Platte, Nebraska, Kansas City, Missouri, and world-famous Horseshoe Curve. If you are not able to view it personally, don't worry. I will present you with a video blending all my views of the Big Boy on the tour. Right now. Our next camera is located in Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's a bucket list destination for rail fans, known as Mile Zero of the first transcontinental railroad. It serves as a massive, active hub for the Union Pacific Railroad and is deeply intertwined with American rail history. The Omaha Council Bluffs riverfront is a prime-time watching spot. The Bob Carey pedestrian bridge spans the Missouri River, offering a fantastic and unique vantage point to watch Union Pacific freight trains across the state line between Iowa and Nebraska. Also, it's located at 21st Street and 9th Avenue, the Golden Spike Monument. This monument marks the original eastern terminus of the Transcontinental Railroad. I will also, throughout Part 1 and Part 2 of the Iowa portion of the Big Boys trip, we will be watching a live stream that Steel Highway Railcams is hosting that is actually tracking the Big Boy. So it's two people in a van or a truck, and they are going across Iowa for this unique experience. Possibly for the Big Boy, once it gets to Omaha, about right now. Council Bluffs is right across the river from Omaha. Does have the 250 numbers on it. This was at 8:15 this morning, Central Time. Possibly the rest of the train for the Big Boy.
It's smart to bundle home and auto insurance for savings, and even smarter when you bundle with Elephant Insurance. That's because Elephant offers savings of up to 12% when you combine home and auto. So you can get Elephant's highly rated coverage and service at a more affordable price. That's insurance on your terms. Switch your home and auto over to Elephant and save up to 12%. Quote today at elephant.com.
This again. America 250. this locomotive as well. Let's play this. As the other cars are in the train. So Lincoln, that's in Nebraska. It's probably the commemorated people. And then we have some names here. The city of Denver. It might be an old passenger train. Run by Union Pacific. And Omaha, of course. Promontory. That was where the Union Pacific line met. And finally, the Challenger. I believe was the first big boy. And then, of course, the Pony Express, which was before. I think that might have also been Union Pacific. That's probably an office car. So, something interesting. I'll see the big boy next on Sunday. On the Iowa journey. So yeah, it's 2:15. To 10 in the morning on Tuesday. The next location was Woodbine, Iowa. It's a hidden gem for rail fans, offering dual railroad action and deep historical roots. It's nestled in the scenic Loess Hills. The town allows you to watch heavy mainland freight roll through a quintessential small town Americana set. The two major railroads you'll catch are the Union Pacific and Canadian National, former Illinois Central lines. There are some historic structures. The town is anchored by a beautifully restored Illinois Central Depot, which serves as a private museum and includes a restored Chicago and Northwestern booths on display.
310.925, track number 2. 310.9825, track 2. Thank you. That is correct, sir. Thank you. Fuel car, 44 number. Come in, Bruce. 306.8925 NOT. No other trains, tracks 1 and 2. And a reminder to call dispatch when you get there. All right.
I've let lots of people pass me, and now we're going to let the big boy actually catch up to us. Because he is now doing closer to 45, I'm doing about 30. And we are going to get back into position. There we go. Look at that. Sometimes doing the right thing pays off. You know that? Alright, and now we've got some big boy back in the frame. This is exactly what we were looking for. I know, it was kind of a painful process to get him back in frame, but we got it now. And now we get to do some real chasing and pacing. I'm pretty sure... Well, maybe this bridge doesn't have a speed restriction on it. But this is definitely one of the weight restriction bridges where they don't want it to... Right now I'm doing 32, and I'm pretty well pacing the locomotive at a decent pace here to where the locomotive can be easily seen. Oh yeah. So you can't really see it, but there is a overhead bridge ahead of us. There we go. There's an overhead bridge ahead of us that we're coming up to. This is a spot where a lot of people are going to be taking photos. And we are slowing back down. Oh, we might be going down even to 20. Yes, we are closer to Denison than when we started. That is correct. And we are definitely doing 24 mph. So maybe there's a...
Dispatcher 19, over. 4014, over. Go ahead, over. Yeah, dispatcher clear of structure 306.89, over. Alright, clear of the structure, copy that, thank you. The next bridge looks like it is between 291.58 and 291.45. I do have you lined. I got a signal request for you there. Over. Alright, dispatcher, we understand. We got a structure of 291.51. No other trains on that bridge. Yeah, I'm showing 291.58 to 291.45. Over. Yeah, we've got that. It's a little bit
5.89.83, over. Okay, we copy that. We're going to have a lot of people there waiting in Denison for us. In your estimation, are we going to be able to make our stop at Denison and into Park before we run that Z train over? I do not believe so, because I'm showing you guys being there for 30 minutes for that stop at Denison, over. Okay, we'll go ahead and slow roll it, and let's get that Z train by. Have that Z train go through Denison at 30 mph, lots of bell and whistles. There's going to be a lot of people there waiting for us, over. Alright, 30 mph, lots of bells and whistles for the Z train as they go around you. Alright, and then let me know when you were over those two bridges, also please, over. Understood, 291.51, what I have is 299.89, is that correct? Yep, if that's what you tell, those both work good for me. Those two mileposts are in the two limits that are on that Form C, so that works, over. Okay, roger that, dispatcher, we copy all that, thank you. You guys appreciate it, over. Thank you, 4014 out.
All right, so you just heard the dispatcher giving us all kinds of information. Specifically, the bridges, at least with the UP engineering department, and this is common through other railroads as well, bridges are often identified by their mile marker. And so when they talk about the bridge at whatever milepost, 360.89, one of them they talked about, but when they talk about that, that's literally saying the bridge is at that milepost or between those mileposts, and that's how the bridges are identified. So when you hear them talk about that, that's why the bridge, that's why the bridge is identified in that way. So the other thing is, Missouri Valley is however many miles behind us. I'm not even exactly sure at this point, but that Z train is just changing crews in Missouri Valley. Nope, he's accelerating. I can actually hear him. He's starting to accelerate back up to 40 here. So when they talk about that, they're talking about these bridges. They're giving them clearance over the bridges. They're telling them other trains will not be on the bridge at the same time that they are, on and on and on. He's actually, now that I just think about this, he's actually accelerating to 40, and I have to knock it down to 25 to go through the next town, which I believe is Logan? No, it's not Logan. What town are we coming into here? Oh, Dunlap. Dunlap, that's what it is. So I have to get ahead of him a little bit so that because we're swinging away from the tracks again, but we're going to pick this back up. And when we get back on the other side of Dunlap, then we'll be able to pick the chase back up. So we have to go down to 25. We have to swing away from the tracks, navigate Dunlap, not get pulled over, and then get out the other side and resume the chase. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. You can't see it, but we are in fact driving through the town of Dunlap. St. Patrick's Catholic Church. We just drove by on the left. Getting it down to 25. The steam engine is going to be a little ways ahead of us now when we get back out here on the other side.
Might catch you later.
Oh yeah, here, I'm going to turn this. You can just see it down the bottom of the hill running ahead of us now. 410 people watching. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and watching. And as soon as we get accelerating out of Dunlap, oh, well, due to the motorcycle, just about had a problem there. All right, we are going to get back up to speed. I'm hoping that everybody ahead of me is trying to race ahead. All right, Denison, 17 miles. That's what the sign just said. Still 17 miles from Denison. I don't know how they're going to keep this guy, because 17 miles isn't really a huge amount of distance when you're talking about getting another roll by of the consist here. We're back toward the back of the consist, and we see the observation car that they have on the back. There's 2 domes in the consist today. And then a couple, the second dome coming up next.
These are the cars we saw
And then we've got,
yesterday.
well, this converted baggage car, which I believe they're using as a tool car. But there's 2 converted baggage cars, and maybe one of them is a converted RPO, I'm not sure. But one of those is definitely the tool car. And then the power car is the one that's got all the air conditioning units on top of it, and the vents. So make sure and, like and subscribe and all of the YouTube things that you need to do to help support the channel. Send me some super chats, join as a member. I'd really love to see everybody help support Steel Highway, because this is a big fundraiser for the channel. Obviously, we're going to get a whole bunch of views off of this, and I'm definitely looking forward to that part of it as well. Yes, the big boys are in fact oil-fired. I believe they're converted to oil-fired. I believe that they started out as coal-fired. Yes, looking for trains, and you found a beauty. That's right. So I know that the Friends of the 261 up in Minneapolis, they have the claim to fame of being the largest operating coal-fired locomotive, I believe, maybe in North America. 25 again, if I had to guess, to go over the bridge.
Bridge crossing.
551 people watching today. Definitely appreciate all the support. Please make sure, like, subscribe, join a member, send me a super chat, all of the above. Definitely appreciate everyone tuning in, and I am definitely enjoying to provide all of the entertainment today. So just ride along with me. We just went through Dow City.
Oh, that's awesome. You called it.
One thing that, we're still paralleling the CN through here, and I do not
Once it gets
think
into Denison, I'm gonna stop.
that we're gonna. I think the CN mostly runs in the afternoons. I don't think that we're gonna
So
see.
they
They
were
might not
17
run on
miles
Sundays
from
at all,
Denison,
for that
right?
matter. I don't really know. But the CN does have crews that work out of Council Bluffs and out of Fort Dodge. All right, Arion, we have another clear signal up ahead of us. Arion is an interesting spot. There was at one time an interlocking tower at Arion, which is where the Milwaukee line that split off at Manila crossed the CNW and the IC on its way up to Sioux City. And so there was at one time an Arion interlocking tower. Been gone for quite a while. But pretty shortly we are going to be crossing over the former right-of-way, the former Milwaukee right-of-way that comes up through Arion. Not to be confused with Marion, Iowa. So this is Arion, Iowa, A-R-I-O-N. Marion, Iowa, M-A-R-I-O-N, is where I live and is several hours east of here. I don't know that I would have driven my car down into those tall weeds, but, you know, whatever you got to do to get the shot, I guess. Very...
291.51. Yep, filling up on her now. 291.51, 25 mph. Thank you. No other train. 1 and 2. Howdy.
Looks like they're slowing up.
Yes, that is an accurate representation of the CN operations. They meet at the siding in Denison, and then they go there. They both go back to their home terminals. Yes. So we're down to 25 now for this next bridge, and I'm thinking that I am going to let some people pass me. I don't know if I'll be able to get back in the line, but I am definitely going to try. If I let some people pass me, I'm pretty sure that'll open up a gap, which will allow them, because the bridge is coming right up here. So, bridge over some small creek ahead of us. That'll open up a gap that'll allow me to jump back in. Alright, I'm gonna get over, let some folks get around. And then jump back in the next gap. You can see, you're gonna see them rolling by here pretty quickly. Yep, just coming in the frame. Yeah, somebody wasn't too happy about it, but, you know, whatever. We make it work. But we're getting a nice roll by of the train here. Slow speed roll by. Then we'll find a spot to jump back in. Probably a couple more cars back.
And we are speeding up here.
Yep, somebody was kind enough to let me back in. Definitely appreciate that, Mr. Ford, white Ford pickup. And the chase is back on. Ooh, and I just want to point out, we have a very interesting car right in front of us. If someone wants to identify this, I'm not 100% sure what it is, but if there's any classic car aficionados in the vehicle or on the live stream with us, definitely appreciate finding out the make and model of the car that's directly in front of us now. 1964 Thunderbird T-Bird. All right, and we're slowing down again. Ford T-Bird, yeah. Well, he said Freebird on his license plate. I don't know if you guys can read it or not. It says Freebird on the license plate. And I wasn't 100% sure if that was referring to a Thunderbird or not, but now we know. But yes, now we have
That's your 910 EP401 forward. Go ahead. You may want to even kick it down a little bit slower because I think your diff Not definitely, but I think you might beat these guys to Denison. Over.
So the Thunderbird is only 19 years newer than the big boy, because the 1964 Thunderbird.
Yeah, the structure is up, night work done on our advantage. We'll get the Denison work done and blast on. The ground will disperse, and that'll be a best case scenario for us. Over. Okay, so are we thinking getting into Denison first? Over. Yes, that would be ideal. Okay, all right, sounds good. I will just hold him out of Denison and do what you got to do there. Over. Very good. We'll get our work done there. Understand, are you going to stop that train over? Yes, I will stop him short of Denison. And then once you are on the move, let me know, and then I'll line him up. But I'm going to get him around you probably up here at Peters, because I do have a westbound train that's going to be stopped over. Okay, that'll work out good. So we'll get in there, we'll have a block on that track, we'll get our work done. We'll take off. It should not be 30 minutes, but it could be. But we'll get blasted off there, we'll keep you updated, and then we'll get that guy moving. Okay, so 30 minutes would be a maximum there, over? A maximum, it should be shorter than that, but I'll let you know once we get under there. Okay, sounds good. I appreciate that information. All right, you're okay in the Denison then, over? All right, here we go. Thank you, dispatcher. Thanks, that's Rob. Dispatcher 19 to UP 6953, over.
We're gonna get him pulling right up to, we're about 2 miles outside, maybe a mile and a half outside of Denison right now.
So
606 people watching.
He's not going
I can't tell you guys how much I really appreciate all of the support throughout the day.
North Rail Axle 2.
All right, and that is going to be our last roll by. The 4014 is actually pulling into
UC detector, milepost 287.9, track 2, first hot box, north rail axle 2, from head of train. UC detector, milepost 287.9, track 2, first hot box, north rail axle 2, from head of train, temperature 74 degrees, detector out.
You'll see it here in a couple of weeks. Yeah. Now it's just starting to creep around the curve. Man, I think he's going 10 or maybe less around this curve, but yes, just coming into view. From what I saw earlier this morning, he's got the American flag and Iowa flag showing today. And here is going to be our first run by. Can't really make it out, but a good look of the articulation as he comes around this curve. I can't zoom in well enough to be able to really show it off for you. But we're also going to get a nice whistle blast as he comes around the curve here as well, because there's a crossing just out of image to the left. So today, there's no freight on the train at all. It's literally just office cars and business train. All right, and now it is time to take off for our next location.
Copy, have your tag there, sir. Hello, Jimmy. Hello, Polly, can we have your tag over?
All right, a Z train is just a high priority intermodal train that also has trailers on flat car in the back.
Hello, Kurt, the toll car, over.
Usually
Hello, over. Can we have Paul
UPS
Curcio's tag, over?
trailers or FedEx trailers on the back.
All right. Robin, verbal clear red zone here, main track 1, Denison. Over. Hello, 1776, you all aboard, over. Got locked, ready to rock, sir. All right, just checking one more time, dual car, okay to have your tag and flag, over. Dual car, tag and flag is yours, over. Copy, tag, flag, dual car, 4014, over. 4014 dispatcher. Go ahead, over. Dispatcher, 4014 is on the move, over. Thank you very much. Safe travels. I'm going to put that Z train ahead of you there at Peters, over. All righty, we'll let that happen. We appreciate you. We'll watch for 6. Just remind them today they're going to see lots of people, so don't hesitate to watch. Lots of bell and whistle. Bell and whistle, copy that. Appreciate it. Thank you again, dispatcher. Dispatcher 19 to the UP 6953, over. UP 4014 is starting to pull. As like I said, extra bells and whistles. Let's go 1515 mph there at the 286.31 crossing, over. That is correct. Here we go. Signal indication, get around to 2 at Peters, over. Safe travels. Better out.
All right. Well, Z train is coming up. It's just a high priority intermodal train. It's got trailers on flat car, usually on the rear of the train. But those Z trains are cleared to do 70 mph in some places. That's pretty much the highest priority freight that the Union Pacific moves. And they're going to be coming up to us on Main 1, which is the closer main, 4014.
Dispatch 19 over. 5-3 all clear, Carol. Copy that. Sounds good. Eastbound Z train is going to be getting around this big boy here at Denison. He's going to cross over to 2. Big boy will follow him 2 to 2. So after the eastbound Z, you can go west, signal indication. Thank you. Over.
So, what they're
extra bells and whistles probably coming up through here. I'm sure you probably already saw some people out here. Over. Okay, calm down. All right, well, be safe. Like I said, get the Z around the big boy, then you'll meet the big boy. Over.
So when he's talking about Peters, that is a control point set of crossovers that the UP, that's on the UP here. And it's just west of Carroll is where the crossovers are. So the order we'll see it in, we'll see Big Boy come up on the right here first. And then, depending on how the timing works out, we may not even see the Z train. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm guessing he's going to be cruising by at a high rate of speed. So he can get up to make this meet and get crossed over 1 to 2. Now, as we get up here, they're going to be stopping again in Carroll. But there's a spot called Arcadia Hill, and I am going to do another roll-by, excuse me, at Arcadia Hill, because we're going to see them working really hard to get upgrade to Arcadia. That is actually the so-called Continental Divide here in Iowa, where the watershed for the Missouri River meets the watershed for the Mississippi River.
87.9, track 1.
Okay, so that was defect detector on track 1. That's going to be the Z train having set that off. So we are going to see him. But anyway, we're going to do a roll by at Arcadia because that's just outside of Carroll. And then while he's stopped at Carroll, we'll jump ahead again and then continue the chase east from Carroll. It's going to be tougher chasing east of Carroll. The track does not parallel quite as closely as it does on this side, so we'll have a little bit harder time making the chase, but we're going to make the best of it however it turns out. I do not yet see our big boy coming this way, but we have 658 people streaming or watching us live here, anxiously awaiting the arrival of the big boy. Oh, and I hear it. Probably whistling for the last crossing there in Denison, and then he's going to be popping out, coming this way. Oh yeah, here we go. And we are off once again. You can see the extensive photo line that developed while they were making their service stop. Yes, the mobile fan club. 693 watching. Let's see if, I wonder if we can get this up to 1,000 today. The number has been steadily climbing ever since we left, Missouri Valley. We're gonna cross 700 here any moment now. I'd love to see if we can get 1,000 people on this live stream. Obviously, keep sharing the live stream and letting people know what we're doing out here. So, of Denison, Iowa, we are chasing the UP 4014 on the Union Pacific Boone sub. He is continuing east toward his next station stop, which is going to be in Carroll, Iowa. Yeah, I don't know what you think you're trying to prove there, Mr. Dodge Ram, except that you're going to probably end up ramming into somebody. So we got a nice roll by of the whole train here. We're actually doing less than 20 mile an hour right now. The big boy is doing 40. I believe he's already gotten up to speed. And you can see the black smoke up there. He's working pretty hard, getting up and headed out of town, getting up to speed and heading slightly upgrade, heading out of town here. So, as we continue on, make sure and like and subscribe, make sure and join the channel as a member. Any way that you can support Steel Highway, we definitely appreciate it. And, you know, keep telling people about Steel Highway, because this is a big part of what we're doing today, is a kind of a promotional tour out in western Iowa as well.
See when that freak comes.
Z-Train.
We're slowing down for a 10 MPH, so you're going to blow our doors off. Here we go.
I don't know if we're going to get to see the Z-Train or not, but I'm definitely not pulling over to wait for it. I will slide this around.
Got a little tractor show there.
Yeah, I can't turn the camera far enough to be able to show you the train going by, but it is literally right off to the left here. The big boy is down to 10. He's got a bridge right in front of him, and I'll tell you, It really makes me wonder if this is one of these bridges that they're supposed to occupy by themselves, but I didn't hear them say anything about that. It does look like a newer construction bridge, not one of the older overhead styles. So maybe it's not as big of a deal. I don't know. But we are back off to the races here. The tracks will not be visible, at least for a short distance. But if I can get up ahead, we may be able to get a roll by of this Z train before the big boy catches up with us again. So we'll just kind of see what happens here. Oh yeah, look at that big, billowing smoke cloud, working hard to get upgrade. I'm gonna put the window down a little bit so we can hear him as he works his way by.
Detected hotbox, north rail axle 2. Hotbox, south rail axle 2. Hotbox, south rail axle 1, 0.
And that time. Got him twice.
Speed detector, milepost 268.5, track 2, first hotbox, north rail axle 2. From head of stream, second hotbox, rail axle 2, first hotbox, south rail axle 1, 0. UP detector, milepost 268.5.
So as we come into Carroll, this town at one time hosted multiple railroads as well. CNW and CGW crossed here in Carroll. It was the CNW line, which we're chasing, now UP, which crossed the CGW on their Mason City to Council Bluffs line. Well, we are going to be coming into Carroll here pretty quickly. And I think let's see here. I'm just looking for a good opportunity to get a roll by. Live streaming. Can go anywhere with it. And this guy is really crawling into town here. I think he must be going through another one of those 10 MPHs.
I showed you yesterday on the back. No. I said it's happened next. Yeah, on that camera. Right.
We got full view now of the entire consist. Might be picking up just a little bit of speed. But we know that he's stopping. We know that he's stopping in town, so it's even if he is picking up speed, not gonna be not gonna be a long-term situation. All right, so we're gonna get turned around and get headed into town. We have this truck in front of us with the Minneapolis and St. Louis Railway sticker on it. The Hootin' Louie, as it was affectionately known. Not the sort of sticker that you see every single day. So, we're going to get headed.
The next camera location is a railroad gym situated on the bustling Union Pacific Railroad Boone subdivision. It hosts high-density double mainline action, intermodal coal, grain, and manifest trains. The town pairs its modern rail traffic with deep historical roots, iconic architecture, and it has a camera. Typically, you will catch 30-plus freight trains a day on this primary transcontinental corridor, moving a mix of Union Pacific and run through power from other Class 1 railroads. Hotspots is mainly the heart of town. Local vantage points include the historic downtown corridor and near the grade crossing from the east and west ends of town. There's a historic C and W. This crown jewel for rail fans at the former Chicago and Northwestern Passenger Depot, located at 225 East 5th Street. Designed in 1896 by famed architect Charles Sumner Frost in the Romanesque Revival style, it features heavy stone arches and a detached baggage room. Its current use is now the Carroll Chamber of Commerce and serves as an anchor for the local railroad park.
I know, he waved at me. I have a theory as to who this is. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I have a theory. So we'll see if my theory is proven correct later. But yes, the Dodge Ram with Muscatine County plates. Pretty sure.
Hey, how difficult would it be to get a couple of crew packs in the garbage bag for the 17th?
So you guys can't see it, right? The train is stopped just on the other side of these buildings to the right. There's a couple restaurants and a strip mall separating us from the tracks. We also have the Carroll Depot, which is a host location, Steel Highway host location, off to the right as well. East and west cameras, yeah. I'm pretty sure that if Cliff McFerrin just texted me, yeah. So Cliff and William McFerrin, good to see you guys. Glad that you're paying attention to the live stream. I love it. You know, I would get lunch at Culver's with you, but I got Dairy Queen when we were back in Denison. So I'm going to keep moving. But I am going to hit up the restroom, as I had previously indicated, once I get out here to the east side of Carroll.
I can just leave this. Russell stops there at least 15 minutes. Facts. Dude, I think this is good. So good. So cool. Or no, Kirk Park. Yeah, he's the engineer, so I guess that has to be John. This guy. Or sorry, this guy. John, and then the thing guy, I guess, is Austin Barker. Or maybe this guy. Which would be cool. This picture was, this is just right before the 2026 tour, so a month ago. Because I went west before going east. It kind of has the face. Right? Yeah. It's a surprisingly small crew. So I'll be pulling out in 2 minutes, according to this guy. See, oh, dude's getting back on the road.
Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near the first person out here either. I can see cars lining both sides of the highway.
Stop is a beam.
Well, we're going to go down here, turn around, come back the other way, and then be in position for our first roll by after the Earl station stop.
All right, here we go, Austin. You ready? Here we go, school car. Here we go, Tracy Murray.
west off out of town to the east. Well, north and then east, I guess. But that'll be the plan. Yeah. Hasn't dialed up the dispatcher to say that they're on the move again yet, but they gotta be getting close. Once they're on the move, then the dispatcher will remove those track blocks on both mains as well. We are not going to try to go into Glidden. We're going to go, because there's a rail cam in Glidden already anyway, so you'll be able to see it to go by there. And then we'll skip east of Glidden, probably to Ralston, get a roll by, and then get out ahead of it. Then try to get out ahead of it to Jefferson, where we can pace from Jefferson to Grand Junction to Ogden. And then get to the hybrid shot. That's a very real possibility. But I'm hoping that, because the tracks actually split away before you get to Ogden. So, excuse me. I think there'll be enough time in between the two to get to where I need to be.
See the other side of those rail cars that I saw 2 days ago.
Okay, let me know, you guys.
There's some photographers up there trying to wave at somebody to get them to move because they're in their shot. Well, we are on the east side of Carroll, Iowa. The
All aboard, I'm all.
4014 just called eyeball.
So sorry, all aboard. All right, John, let me know when you're in the cabin ready.
The 4014 is just wrapping up its station stop at Carroll, and then they will be on the move, headed our direction.
5076, got it ready. Okay, here we go.
I was really hoping that we were near enough that we would hear the engine sound off when he went to pull, but I haven't heard anything yet. So, not 100% sure what's going on. Even if there is, it'll be unlikely that we will witness the meet. Back up to 600 viewers watching, definitely appreciate it. Make sure and throw those likes and subscribes and channel memberships and everything else that you can do to support Steel Highway. Send me more super chats. Definitely appreciate you guys helping me buy my lunch.
UP detector milepost 257.6, track 2. Defect detected hot box, south, rail axle 10.
All right, well, he's on the move now. On the move and headed this way.
UP detector milepost 257.6, track 2, first hot box, south, rail axle 10, from head of train. UP detector milepost 257.6, track 2, first hot box, south,
It's now going really fast
10, from
compared
head of
to
train.
a couple months before,
Temperature 81 degrees.
like 40
Detector
miles
out.
an hour.
Continuing his undefeated streak against defect detectors. And now we are just waiting for the gates to go up, and we are back on the chase.
See you there. That's boom.
I'll reposition the camera a little bit because as we continue to chase, the tracks will be more off to our right in the places where we can actually see it. But we're going to get up here onto 30 and continue blasting off to the east. Just as a programming note, We are going to be live again tomorrow morning. I am going to be starting the chase at Boone. And chasing all the way back into Cedar Rapids, which is pretty close to home for me. And once we get the chase going tomorrow, I may very well have my 5-year-old son with me, adding commentary as we go along. So we'll just see what happens. They're going for, there's an intersection
30 seconds ago.
where the railroad cuts across a T intersection with the gravel road's kind of an angle. We're going to go further up, though. This is Scranton that we're coming to. And I think what we're going to do is get on a roll by in Scranton instead.
So this is where the big boy is stopping for the night.
You know, this is one of the questions that rail fans often ask themselves. You're looking over, you're seeing what you're chasing, and you're like, can I get to the crossing in time? Or am I going to get stuck? Right, for many years, I cut across, and I get to that crossing in time. Well, I usually tend to go one crossing further than I think I should. Nice. But we're going to head down to this west crossing of Scranton, and I think we're going to just make it. I think we're going to just make it. I would like to think. But I cannot say that for sure. Didn't realize this was a highway overpass. All right.
The U-train does go through,
Right there. Here it is. Oh, we just missed the head end. But you can see it rolling by right there.
UP detector milepost 240.9, trap 2.
All right, but we are going to pull a Yui here. Get back out of town. Well, did not make the crossing that I wanted to at Scranton. But, you know, quite honestly, if that's the worst failure of the day, then I think we can live with that. here, I need to get over. There's a lot for sale if anyone wants to move to Ogden, Iowa.
Our final location is Boone, Iowa, a must-visit destination for rail fans. It blends heritage railroading with heavy-duty mainline freight action. It sits in the Des Moines River Valley and is historically famous for the heroic efforts of Kate Shelley, who saved the Chicago and Northwestern train from a washed-out bridge in 1881. There's the Boone and Cedar Valley Railroad and Museum. This premier tourist railroad operates over an 11-mile section of the former Fort Dodge, Des Moines, and Southern Railroad. They offer classic coach, dinner, and dessert trains pulled by vintage diesel, steam, or electric trolley equipment. The high bridges, the absolute highlight of the ride is crossing the Base Point Creek High Bridge, which stands 156 feet tall and spans 750 feet across the river valley. The Union Pacific Kate Shelley Bridge, just west of Boone, was built in 2001 to replace an older 1901 viaduct. It is 2,800 feet long and towers 190 feet above the Des Moines River.
Well, there is our oh, and here we go. We're getting the roll by on the high bridge right now. All right, this is going to be the end of our live stream today. Once this guy clears, thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate all the support throughout the day. And I am going to make my way home so that we can do this again tomorrow. And thank you to the over 700 people that logged in during the course of the day. Hello. How you doing? Good.
It already went over.
What's the time?